based Rachel Oates. Am I supposed to not like her? Because damn, let's go, Rachel. So, Essence of Thought tells her to kill herself. Okay, chill, Ethel, what the fuck? Do the world a favor and exit. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Here's the tea. Here's the tea, alright? I don't know anything about Rachel Oates. So we're gonna have to learn about that today. Yesterday, when we were watching Ethel's response to Courtney, she said, you know, that she was like likening Lily Orchard basically to this Rachel Oates person. And I had said, and I mean it truly, you have to have like an Olympic height of a jump to make the leap to say that anybody is comparable to Lily Orchard, in my opinion. Like, I think that I would put like Lily Orchard and Hitler like in the same fucking category, right? I don't know anything about Rachel Oates. I couldn't really speculate or speak to that chunk of Essence of Thoughts video. So let's learn about it. Let's learn about it, because apparently this Rachel Oates beef is like Essence of Thoughts bread and butter, I suppose. Like, let's go to Essence of Thoughts YouTube. Let's jump over really quick. It's always concerning to me when I look up somebody's channel and other people's videos come up before their videos. That is usually like, in my opinion, oh, you're talking the shit. That sounds not good. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. Okay, so this is Essence of Thought. I don't consume Essence of Thoughts content. So I am but a layman when it comes to the Ethel lore. I'm not an Ethel historian by any stretch of the imagination, okay? So we have our biggest videos. Lily Orchard, Lily Orchard, Lily Orchard, Lily Orchard. All of these with a pretty significant amount of views for 42k sub YouTube channel. So we got 614k, 175k, 122k, 113k. So got a lot of views here. Okay, we got a lot of views here. The next couple of big hitters here are I know that Ethel spun out of like the secular debate sphere. So we've got a couple of those, okay, some trans-related stuff. Then we jump back into Lily Orchard, and then some ContraPoint stuff here and there. And then we also have another Lily Orchard video. And then we have our Vangelina Skov videos, or Vangelina Sko, I think is how you say it. So Vangelina was somebody who also covered Lily Orchard, and then Essence of Thought got like super triggered and accused Vangelina of plagiarizing her because she used the same fucking screenshots in her video. Unbelievable, honestly. Essence of Thought also said, you know, I want 30% of your ad revenue from these videos because you plagiarized me. Crazy shit. Crazy unhinged, deranged behavior, okay? Here's the Rachel Oates videos that we're kind of getting into now. So these aren't as popular, but they're still up here, right? So we got Rachel Oates here. We've got Rachel Oates here. And our titles are kind of ouch. So we have defamation, death threats, and Rachel Oates reclaiming my voice. Rachel Oates doubles down on burying her transphobia. Okay, so my understanding briefly is that Rachel Oates was buds with somebody who had like a pretty lame take on like trans women in sports. I don't care about trans women or trans women in sports or women's sports. So this is just like a nothing burger to me. I don't give a fuck about sports and the trans sports debate. I don't fucking care at all. But so like my read is that a friend of Rachel Oates said something about trans women in sports that Ethel disagreed with, and then Rachel didn't like publicly disavow this or like break off from this person, and that caused Essence of Thought to go nuclear, basically. But I don't know, like, what did she do? Like, was it literally just over this? Like, I don't know. So we'll do a little bit of reading, okay? Okay. So a timeline, Rachel Oates and Essence of Thought. I've already covered some of this material as Essence of Thought. So you might be wondering why I'm repeating myself months after the events in question. The old stuff hasn't been well organized nor placed in chronological order for my own efforts, and since the second half of a long blog post, I was pretty harsh on rationality rules. Okay, I don't care. Let's get to the timeline. Okay. With that intro out of the way, let's begin. All the dates and times are based on Twitter's timestamps, which I think uses my time zone MDT, although it'll be helpful to know about Indian Standard Time, and content warning for transphobia, plus mentions of suicide and self-harm. So This is December 9th, 2019. The origins of it all trace back to here, apparently with a mistake. So, screenshot. Janet Reyes thought it would be a good idea to list those who have come out to support rationality rules and those who have come out in support of the trans community. Rationality rules is the one that had the bad take about trans women in sports. Again, I don't care about women's sports. I don't care about any of that fucking shit. I don't care. If somebody has like a dumb take on trans women in sports, I don't think it's worth going nuclear over. I don't give a fuck. So Rachel Oates. Just been shown this screenshot, and I've got to say, if you're going to start making lists, you better put me on both. I support Steve because I don't want to see the community divided. I won't denounce a friend for one mistake. I know he's working hard to learn about what he did wrong, and I know he's working on putting things right. Supporting Steven now does not mean I agree with everything he said in his video. We're allowed to have differing opinions. That said, if I genuinely thought that he was transphobic, I wouldn't be supporting him, but I know he never intended to cause harm and definitely didn't expect certain people to use his video to try and push harmful agendas. I, like so many other creators on a list that have consistently shown our support for the trans community, so it's not a choice between supporting Steve or supporting transgender people. It's we can and do support both. Can we just stop trying to create an us versus them thing? Can we stop trying to pit atheists and YouTubers against each other? Can we realize that we can disagree with someone's ideas and thoughts, and we can work to correct them and help them learn without having to turn it all into a war against a person? People making lists like this need to grow up. You can disagree with ideas without hating a person. You can like a person and not agree on everything. I support trans people. I support YouTubers. I support people taking time to learn and grow. I do not support drama and pitting people against each other and acting like children. This whole, oh, you're friends with X, so I don't like you anymore is so immature. So far, this is like, I would be hard pressed to find somebody that would disagree with this. Obviously, Ethel did, but like, this is just like true, you know. Like, if somebody has like a shitty take on something, that doesn't mean that I have to go scorched earth because I disagree with their take. Like, for example, I'll use Stardust as an example. Stardust has said some fucking sussy wussy things, especially like the way that she talks to Jalen. I don't necessarily approve of or appreciate. And she said, you know, pretty transphobic things to Jalen. But I mean, what do you want me to do? Like, drag the fucking crucifix out into the town square and nail her to it? Like, I can say that I disagree with Stardust's like approach to Jalen, and say that I don't think it's appropriate the way that she talks to her or talks about her. But that doesn't mean that, one, I have to like completely disassociate with Stardust, or two, you know, like publicly like engage in the whipping of Stardust. You know, I can just disagree with her and it's whatever. Like, unless... Like, I think that we have to remember, we're on the internet, you guys. Unless somebody literally is, like, murdering somebody, assaulting somebody, like, fucking raping somebody. It's like, if we just disagree on, like, an esoteric trans take, I don't really feel like blowing up that fucking bridge. You know what I mean? I don't think that's worth it. Okay. So, let's see. Let Miss Snarky fill in the details. Miss Snarky, why did you share a list publicly that was between 20 people in a closed Facebook group? Now those people on the list are open to backlash, which was not the intent. The intent was to find safe spaces for those who have been subject to harm because of RR's rhetoric. Rachel Oates says, I had no idea that was a small group until just now. I tried to censor all the names. It was just after being awake for nearly 24 hours, I happened to miss one. That said, if you're going to post on Facebook, don't expect it to stay entirely private. True. This is true. And it seems like the only, like... Somebody fill me in on this list. What it seems to me is that they had a list of people that were like harmful creators, or people that were pro-trans or anti-trans. Like, they had a list of like good noodles and bad noodles. It was basically the good noodle board from SpongeBob, and that list got leaked. Like, why can you guys just not behave in DMs? Like, why are you guys like secretly like planning, like plotting to overthrow the government and shit in like Discord DMs? Like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Okay, so they leaked this private group chat. I have confirmation or denial here that this was just like a little group chat of like, these are good people to follow and these are bad people to follow. Correct? Confirm or deny chat. This is basically what this list was. Yes. Basically like a private Shigami eyes is kind of what it reads like to me. Okay, so the group chat gets leaked. Okay, so Rachel Oates said, I had no idea that a small group until just now. I tried to censor all the names, whatever. Regardless of where it was posted, if there's a group of people trying to be divisive and make lists and imply that these people and other creators are transphobic, then I'm going to point that out, that they're being immature idiots who are objectively wrong. Based Rachel Oates. Am I supposed to not like her? Because damn, let's go, Rachel. Mrs. Snarky says, it's a private group where people are expressing concerns for where they are safe to chat and interact. If a few people think that you're safe at space, then yeah, address that. But for now, you've exposed your entire audience to the list, which leaves it open to more assumptions. It's just a silly little list. Okay. All right. Essence of Thought considered this an attack, as they explained to me long after the fact in December. So we have, quote, Oh, the attack was a mention of the fact that the person behind making the list in the PSA, Progressive Secular Alliance, the future name of this formerly private Facebook group, was a trans person trying to protect other trans people by noting the connections between people in Woodford. Also, why do all these people name like their group chats and their Discord servers like the lamest fucking things in the entire world? It's like the Secret Transgender Alliance of Justice and International Peace Relief. It's like you can just say like Ethel's Hose. Like that could be your Discord server. That could be your Facebook group. Like what? Like you guys name it something like super serious every time. Like the allegiance of transgender rights against fascists who slay the victims of the fucking Nazi children that your witches didn't burn in Salem. It's like, can you guys just like name it something chill? Is that possible? Yet, the moment Oates went ahead and targeted them, they put them in a terrible position where they would have to either keep quiet and allow the lies to spread or speak out about the list's actual purpose and receive unending abuse from Woodford's audience. They did the latter. Objectively, Subjective spoke out and got slammed hard, all because Oates couldn't handle her ego being challenged by desperate people in private. I likely should have made it clearer at a later date when it wouldn't send them into a more abusive traffic. I'm not the only trans person targeted in all of this. So, in the very minimal knowledge that I have about Essence of Thought, the little toe that I've dipped into the pond here, the only thing that I'm getting is the id poll is like her favorite thing in the entire fucking world. Okay, like spoke out and got slammed all because they couldn't handle their ego being challenged by desperate people in private, and now trans people are in danger. I'm not the only trans person in danger, essentially. Like, I don't know if trans people know this or not. And I would imagine that trans people do know this, but maybe you guys don't. For the entire audience of autistic trans women here, let me make something very clear to you. Allegations of transphobia against people in like creator-based spaces are things that people take pretty seriously just because of like the negative perception that carries with it, especially if you're in like a space like a left tube and shit. Like if somebody calls you transphobic, people are going to be more hesitant to engage with your content. They're going to get, you know, a whole bunch of assumptions about you and blah, blah, blah. Like it is fair that if somebody is calling you transphobic and it leaks that this person is calling you transphobic, it's fair for you to be like, actually, I'm not, by the way. Right? Like I don't know. The id poll is, it makes my tummy do little flips. I hate it. Okay. This would all be in the future. When Essence of Thought first talked directly to Ethel Oates, though at roughly the same time Oates posted this screenshot. So Pirate Kitty, Rationality Rule, says, also demonetized the original transphobic video. How it was monetized to begin with, I don't know, but somebody like Rachel should suggest to him that he remonetize it and donate the money to make an LGBTQ charity. That way, in keeping, he can raise money for charity. Rachel Oates says he's already planning on donating all the money he already made from the video. He's just looking at the right charity. Essence of Thought says evidence of this. Lizzie Lang says, IDK, perhaps because she is personal friends with him and they have spoken about it. Rachel Oates says, yep, that's what Lizzie said. Do we need to hire someone to take notes every time we have a live chat now? Essence of Thought said, I would like written confirmation from the person themselves. As if this is about, Ethel herself. Like, this is really weird. Like, I want personal confirmation. Like, you can just wait and they'll post the receipt. That's what everybody does when they do charity fundraisers and shit like that. They post the receipts when they're done. Like, hello, you can wait like everybody else. This isn't about you personally, right? In terms of Twitter, that's the sum total of their interactions before September 1st. There are some indirect responses, such as this from May 16th. Godless Cranium says, wouldn't it be great if the secular community did something positive, like maybe work together on a collaboration featured on multiple channels, reframing that we stand with the trans community and outlining why trans athletes should compete as the gender they identify as. Rachel Oates says, I'm obviously happy to voice my support of the transgender community anytime, but the topic of which groups transgender athletes should compete in, I'm not willing to make many claims at present. I don't know anywhere near enough about competitive sports to have a fully informed opinion, and so to make a claim on video is either saying trans athletes should or should not be allowed to compete in whichever group would be completely dishonest on my part. I am not comfortable making such definitive claims on the topic that I don't know enough about. Clinton Collum says, this is a great and rational and thoughtful response. Essence of Thought says, not really. It reads pretty much as, though I have no basis to strip people of their human rights, it will nonetheless refuse to support them in those rights. Okay, first of all, this is something that pisses me the fuck off about the trans, like, people in sports. Competing in sports is not a fucking right. You don't have a constitutional right to play, like, fucking football with the girlies, okay? You don't have a constitutional right to that. And Like, this just gives me that perspective where it's like, I don't care if what you're saying is true. I don't care if what you're saying is well thought out and you actually believe it. I don't care if you're able to substantiate any of your beliefs. All I care about is if you agree with me. And that's not the world that we should want to live in, right? I should want you to agree with me because I'm right. And I should want you to agree with me because you came to that conclusion by doing your own understanding. I don't want you to pretend to believe something that you don't actually believe just to like stroke my fucking ego. Like, it's so like narcissistic and cringe, dude. Like, this is honestly like this is what 90% of the issue around trans topics is that people are talking about shit and they don't know what they're fucking talking about. So somebody coming out and saying like, you know, I would say something about it, but I don't know enough about it, so I don't really feel comfortable talking about it. And then it's like, well, you don't know enough about it? Well, you must want trans people to die then. Like, how is she getting so fucking mad about this? This is like the most milquetoast fucking response I've ever read in my entire life. I don't know enough about it. I don't want to comment on it publicly. Oh, so you just want trans people to go to the gulag then? Okay. While Essence of Thought's tweet isn't directed at Rachel Oates, it does include her handle in the reply. This is very obviously at Rachel. What are you talking about? Is this person a fucking Essence of Thought stan? This is very obviously directed at Rachel. Twitter replies are inclusive by default, so even if you're replying to one person, like, Essence is responding to this person who's responding to Rachel. Like, she's literally talking, whatever. Okay. Supporters of Rachel Oates, such as Paulogia, wind up generating most of the indirect tweets. Sometime on or before May 17th, it seems the Essence of Thought blocked Oates on Twitter. The block incensed Oates and prevented her from refuting any allegations against herself, leading her to post a Twitter rant where she attempts to refute the allegations against her. It is also worth noting that Oates switched from using they pronouns when referring to Essence to he, him pronouns that day. Essence prefers they, them, but does not take offense to she or he. Still, Oates does not care about getting those pronouns right. If you don't care, why are you getting mad about it? Oates switched from using they, them pronouns to using he, him pronouns. Essence of Thought prefers they, them, but does not take offense to either she or he. Okay, then so what's the issue? If I said to you guys, my pronouns that I prefer are he, him, but you guys can call me whatever you want, I don't care. And then somebody in the fucking comments was like, Malcolm, you go, girl. And I was like, why are you misgender? Like, what? If you don't care, if you go by any or all pronouns, like, what? Oh, God. This is going to be a hard read. Oh, God. No more trans rights. We've lost them all, guys. They're all going away. Rachel Oates. Also, I'm really sorry if I got Essence of Thought's pronouns wrong in this thread. I've heard different things about which pronouns they prefer and may have slipped up here. Over the next day or so, things settled down. Somewhere in this time frame, according to Essence of Thought, they blocked Oates on their YouTube channel. I brought up a specific thread because Essence of Thought themselves brings it up in a video dating to May 25th, 2019, in a segment which spans roughly for 5 minutes from the transcript. Quote, the person who accused me of stealing Wordford's ideas, Rachel Oates, has taken to playing the false neutral. She claims that she supports the trans community but refuses to stand in support of trans rights. You playing sports is not a right, okay? You are not constitutionally afforded to play on sports teams, okay? 1. 2, somebody saying, I don't know enough about this, I don't want to comment on it, is not refusing to stand with trans people. This is somebody, like, taking the correct position of, like, I don't know enough to talk about this, so I'm going to be quiet, okay? Like, that's, yay, celebration. Stay in your own lane. We should be celebrating this shit. Okay. Now she says that she can't do it because she lacks information on the subject to make a call, which could be a reference to one of two things. First is the idea that she simply is not well enough versed on the subject to have an opinion, which is strange considering how viciously she attacks any trans person looking to hold Woodford to some degree of accountability. She wants to be able to argue in defense of Woodford whilst also being discounted from the supporting trans rights on the basis that she doesn't know enough. If you genuinely believe that you're not knowledgeable enough to speak on the subject, then stop speaking on it as a whole. You guys, because you can't walk me through vaginoplasty from start to finish, don't even talk to me about trans rights. Don't even talk to me about it. Don't even talk to me about it. You don't know. You know nothing. I speak on all of it or none of it at all. Okay? Unless you've read every fucking piece of literature by Judith Butler. Don't even fucking open your mouth about trans issues, you fucking plebs. Jesus. Something I noted, which people then jumped on me for, claiming that wasn't what she was saying, when no, it really wasn't. When we have the fact that myself and many others have compiled the information on the matter in an accessible manner, perhaps... Okay, so... If she doesn't agree with me, she just doesn't know enough. Based. Okay, Ethel. Perhaps she stopped attacking trans people for trying to hold Woodford accountable for his actions and actually read some of the source supplies. She would have more knowledge on the matter. So these are the several reasons why I find said position to be entirely disingenuous, and I wanted to tackle that in a video. Now, I've taken to blocking various people on Twitter since I have no intent of having bad faith back and forths that will be buried within a day, and sending more of their friends to harass me over this, telling me what a wonderful person they actually are. It's not going to change my perspective on that. Moving on, Oates tried to post a comment on this video and claims it was deleted. The bit about stealing Stephen Woodford's rationality rules ideas relates to the assertion that RR was planning to demonetize his original transphobic video and donate the proceeds to the charity before Essence of Thought suggested it. I'm not sure what the quote attacks any trans person portion is about. Twitter search engine does not include replies unless I know the handle of the original tweet's creator, so not finding evidence of this with the Twitter search is not definitive proof that it didn't happen. Twitter search function is also pretty lousy in my experience anyway. Essence of Thought doesn't provide examples, something Oates used to argue no such examples exist. In a follow-up thread, Oates shared screenshots of the thing she believed Essence of Thought was referring to as a, quote, vicious attack on the trans community, tacking onto this at the end. Quote, if I ever did something to offend the transgender community, whether it be on accident or on purpose, I'd apologize, but I don't believe that I did. I've never condoned Stephen's original video. I've only shared that I believe he messed up and had good intentions. His views have changed and shared what I've seen in the work that he's doing. Obviously, you saw my tweets and Essence of Thought about how I am happy to support transgender people in whatever. I just don't want to make claims about sports specifically when I don't know enough about it. That does not mean that I've ever said that I believe we should stop transgender athletes from competing where they want. I have called for certain actions like making lists, lying, strawmanning, gaslighting, etc., childish, immature, compared to, quote, calling out people for just being associated with someone, to being like a temper tantrum or drama seeking. I have critiqued Essence of Thought for blocking me on all platforms and not giving me the space to defend myself from her lies. I have said negative things about Essence of Thought's actions, but that is completely separate from their gender identity. I just don't understand why Ethel got so twisted over this, you guys. I don't understand why she got so twisted over this. This is like a fucking nothing burger. This is literally, like, why not go after Steven? Why not go after rationality rules? Like, why not go after that guy? Like, this person was literally just like, he might have said something that was really dumb, but I think that that's not a big enough reason to, like, cancel him, essentially. And I don't know enough to talk about, like, the trans sport shit, but maybe we should just leave him alone. This is, like, such a fucking nothing burger. Okay, May 28th and 29th. Again, things died down until the 28th. On that day, Rationality Rules released his long-form response to Essence of Thought, leading to an uptick in harassment directed at Essence of Thought. At the same time, Essence of Thought pens a, quote, final post on Twitter about Rachel Oates, following up more detail on Facebook. So what, he was supposed to post a response. He was supposed to. That's what they wanted him to do, and now they're mad that he did it? What? Quote, I feel I should clarify some things on Rachel Oates since people keep asking things. Though this will be my final post on said person, the reason that I blocked her was simple. She was incredibly hostile to trans people who suggested that Woodford is responsible for the content he puts out, including the harm that it caused. I also found her later approach to be incredibly two-faced. Her lack of knowledge on the subject didn't seem to stop her attacking trans people in defense of Woodford. So the idea that it excused her from standing by trans rights in what Godless Cranium had suggested in the secular community do try and improve relations with the trans community made no sense outside of the playing field. She seems very good at this sort of manipulation. Oh, God, we got the manipulator fucking accusation. What are you talking about? The only reason I mentioned her in the video was the fact that since I block her, various people have charged me with censoring her. I feel like doing that may have given her too much. She seems to be trying to position herself in the same poor white cis woman that would... In his original video, it's all just way... oh my God. Cry, 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 Idpol. Cry, 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 Idpol. This is somehow about me. It seems like this drama didn't have anything to fucking do with her, and she has main character derangement syndrome, and decided that she wanted it to be all about her. She sat down and said, how can I make this about me? And decided to do so. I mean, I get the same vibe from all the Lily Orchard content as well. It's like, how can I make this about me? That's kind of how it feels, but whatever. Within an hour or two of that, Oates released a, quote, in-depth analysis, a response to all the lies about me, a rambling hour, 15-minute video. A timestamp here. I've recently had some pretty slanderous claims made to me about... Okay, so they're going back and forth. Okay, I get it. Anyway, the comment popped up under Oates' video shortly after posting, earning a heart from her. This person says, all right, who's been lying about you and where can I break their knees? Because you deserve far better than these baseless lies. Oh, we're going to do more Idpol. Within a few hours, Essence spotted this comment and was directed to it. Quote, she fucking favorited that comment. I knew she was bad, but to favorite a threat of violence against a trans person for sticking up for their human rights. Oh my God. You guys, log off. Log off. Come on. Hey, I know it'll prove that I'm not a bigot. Favoriting jokes calling for violence against a member of a community that already suffers an extraordinary amount of violence for refusing to kneel before me. Haha, the person you said had done the final post made you do another one by favoriting a comment joking about violence against you. Yeah, because as low as my opinion was of her, I didn't predict that coming. Oh no, you guys. Cry, 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 cry. Somebody said, oh my god, somebody's lying about you? I'll fuck them up. Oh no. Fucking enemy of trans rights, guys. Fuck. Oates initially defended the comment as being a joke, but a day later softened her position, just saying that she liked a joke post. Like, we don't have to do all this soy shit, dude. Like, somebody just made like a joke little post and she thought it was funny. Like, soy, 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 soy. I don't care. I went looking for the original comment on YouTube and I couldn't find it, so she likely deleted it. Okay, so July, June, August. Okay, so not much happened here. A few transgender people watched the video defense and sent emails saying they don't feel safe from transphobia in her social media environment. This baffled Oates. Still, most of the hate mentioning on Twitter comes from Kent Hovind fans. She never mentioned athletes at any point, and the term transgender comes up exactly once in Twitter search. So Gary says, should a man wearing a dress be allowed to share a toilet with a teenage girl? I'm shocked that some men believe this is acceptable. Rachel Oates says, somebody who used to be a teenage girl, there's nothing scary about using the bathroom with a transgender woman. So, like, it just seems like she disagrees on very esoteric niche trans drama, and that is worthy of labeling her as a violent fucking transphobe. Very based. Okay. Sorry, but I needed 2 tweets from that day. Rachel Oates says one of the cool kids who use phrases like throw shade. Christian girl throws shade at Taylor Swift. Rude says, this is a nice sentiment. Can we expect a vid calling out rationality rules for his transphobia in the near future? For what? What are you guys talking about? Tell you what, the minute Steve stops treating transgender people as a human, I'll call him out for it. But yeah, it is literally just like esoteric trans drama that nobody fucking cares about. Nobody fucking cares about trans people in sports. I don't know what to tell you. People barely care about women's sports. Never mind trans people's sports. Nobody watches the WNBA. That seems like more of an issue to me. That seems like more of an issue. Should we not care about the WNBA, guys? I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. Essence of Thought says, oh, look, the transphobic piece of shit is lying through her teeth again. Turn down the heat, Ethel. What the fuck? And yes, you are 100% transphobic since you'd break bread with somebody who has thoroughly dehumanized trans people in order to strip them of their numerous key civil and human rights. The human right to play college basketball, you guys. The human right to play co-ed volleyball. Okay. All while feigning ignorance on the information supplied to you, and your friend has actively lied about numerous studies which didn't even contain the words, and the items that he claimed proved remain the same. But all that's irrelevant. You have no justifiable reason to strip away a person's human and civil rights by the default thing. The default right thing to do is defend them at all costs. You failed to do that. You've defended Woodford for months, dehumanizing us, and you have the gall to spread Bullock's claims that you'd stand up for him doing what he has. This is just, I don't care. This is literally like the summation of this drama is I don't care. Okay, so I want to get into like what is Ethel, where's the harassment here? So we're going really hard, it seems, on Rachel Oates for like literally fucking nothing. She's like, I don't know anything about trans sports. I don't want to talk about it. And Ethel's like, you must talk about trans people in sports. You must talk about the TWNBA. You must talk about it. Like, okay, so, okay. I want to get into the harassment. Where's the harassment in here? Okay, so I admit that I haven't watched the videos. I can just not want to be involved. I have a life outside of Steve. Okay, so she's like, I don't really fucking care. I'm done with this drama. Okay, base, like, this is boring. It doesn't have anything to do with her. She literally was just like, I don't know, he might change his mind. Okay, boring, 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 boring. Okay, what's this? So, Essence of Thought tells her to kill herself. Okay, chill, Ethel. What the fuck? Do the world a favor and exit. So she tells her to kill herself on Twitter. Okay, so why am I coming down specifically on Essence of Thought? Well, if it wasn't obvious by the tweet that I showed earlier, my reason behind this is very, very specific. You do not, as a content creator with even an iota of power, tell somebody to commit suicide, especially when you're someone who advocates for people who have mental issues. If you want to take it up with a platform and argue those who are marginalized and protect them and do what you can to defend them, I'd agree. I do the same thing with my platform, but you don't get to tell somebody in front of your own audience because they're watching. It's Twitter to kill themselves. Think about every person in your audience who has suicidal thoughts who just saw that from you. You just realized that you, someone who may idolize, is willing to tell somebody else to kill themselves over literally trans women in sports. Come on, guys. Okay, not watch this video yet, but I'll say when you're in the middle of a depressive episode or a panic attack and have already hurt yourself, and this line is sent at you, you don't really have the ability to deep analyze the context of what he really meant. Lizzie Lang watches the video and calls it a great vid. Meanwhile, Essence of Thought continues to deal with the fallout of the suicide narrative going viral and starting to mutate. The following tweets tag Rachel Oates. So everybody is giving the opinion that Essence of Thought is telling Rachel Oates to please cease existing. Here's my note. I won't comment on anybody's character, but instead just analyze the fallout and potential alternatives. Essence of Thought says, quote, everybody is giving their opinion on Essence of Thought telling Rachel Oates to please cease existing, except that literally never happened. I told Lizzie to leave Woodford's Church of Transphobia. Go check the original tweet and see what I'm actually saying. So the original tweet is... This is a demonstrable lie. Stephen Woodford is a violent transphobe, and you are in his fucking church. You turn a blind eye, target abuse victims of his violence, lie to protect his name. Do the world a favor and exit. Why wouldn't you just say do the community a favor and exit? Like when you say exit the world, I would read this as telling somebody to kill themselves. That's the way that I would read this. Like do the world a favor and exit it. Like that is a whole statement on its own. Do the world a favor and exit it. The it that you are exiting is the world. You're doing the world a favor by exiting it, the world. You exit the world by killing yourself. Like I don't want to feel like a conspiracy theorist here with my fucking corkboard with the red strings going all over the room. This reads directly to me as do the world a favor and exit it. Like kill yourself and leave the world. That's the way that I read this. Even with this additional context up here, like do the world a favor and exit the community. Like you could have worded this any other way if that's truly what you meant. I do not believe that this was meant in any other way than to say like kill yourself. That's the way that I think any single person in the entire world would read this. Okay. Okay. This is at 4:37 a.m. with a quote of clarification. Essence of Thought. I'm not the one running around making posts about things I never said. Transphobes invent stuff when they're starved of it, but none of that has any relevance of me calling out active lies. I have to be a bloody saint day in and day out. Any slip up is a sign of human emotion. I'm a monster. Meanwhile, they get to repeatedly call for violence against trans people. I would like to see the evidence of the calls of violence against trans people. Like, just talking about things publicly is not a call to violence. Like, these people are so fucking weak. How old is Ethel? How has she lived this long? How has she been alive this long when she thinks that somebody talking about her, like, on YouTube when she's a content creator is a call to violence? And, like, you'd have to be dumb to read that any other way. Like, she very clearly was telling Rachel to kill herself. Like, come on, dude. And then Rachel says, how difficult is it for Essence of Thought to say, I'm sorry my tweet was poorly worded and it hurt people. I never meant for it to be interpreted that way. Instead of blaming everybody who read it as encouragement of suicide, it's essentially victim blaming. Very true. If I'm getting spicy in tweets with somebody and I say something that may be misconstrued as me telling somebody to kill themselves, and that wasn't what I meant, it would be very easy for me to be like, hang on, pause. Like, I'm actually really sorry if you read it that way. That was not what I meant at all. This is what I meant, and I'm sorry if that came off as like me telling you to kill yourself. Like, my bad. I didn't mean it like that. That's not what I meant. Like, and especially if you are this uwu soft being who cares a lot about mental health and, you know, conveying an accurate depiction of, you know, the reality of living with mental health, blah, 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 like XYZ, throw an input here. You know what I mean? I don't know why it would be so hard for you to just press the pause button and be like, actually, you know what? Hold on. That's not what I meant, and I'm sorry. I meant it this way. I didn't mean to insinuate that I want you to kill yourself. That's not true. Like, it's a very easy correction, especially if it's something that you claim to care about. Like, obviously, if Essence of Thought could just, like, giga chat it, be like, actually, yeah, I do want you to kill yourself, eat shit. Like, she could say that, for sure, but that kind of goes against her brand, you know what I mean? So, I don't know why you wouldn't just be like, time out, like, pause, like, reset, let's do a temperature check in the room, guys. Red light, hang on really quick, okay? I did not mean that, and I'm sorry that it came across that way. That's not what I meant at all. My bad. Like, super easy to do. So yeah, and then Rachel goes on to talk about like how she struggles with mental illness and how this, like, you know, was very upsetting to her. And, you know, she has her own mental health issues, and that, you know, to my understanding, she self-harmed as a result of this, which, I would expect Ethel to be very sympathetic and apologetic to, but it appears that's not what happens at all. Okay. So Rachel says, this isn't for the sake of drama. I want a genuine apology, not just for me, but for everybody, since Essence of Thought has me blocked and I can't tell how their words have hurt me. Can someone please send him a screenshot of my thread and see if they apologize this time? Essence of Thought says, so to be absolutely clear, Rachel Oates is a transphobic bigot who actively attacks trans people, trying to hold Woodford, her personal friend, for calling for violence against trans people and arguing that they should be stripped of their numerous human rights. So we're just like word salading the same thing over and over again. So basically what this is doing, and I'm going to predict this right now. I have not read all this. I'm going to predict this right now. Because Rachel Oates is a violent transphobe, she should kill herself. That's not what I meant, but if that's how she reads it, that's on her. Like, again, this is a very simple, like, correction. hey, dude, I fucked up in wording that tweet. I don't want you to kill yourself. My bad. Like, I disagree with you. I think that you're a transphobe, whatever. But, like, I misspoke. I don't want you to kill yourself. If you read it that way, I apologize. I didn't intend for it to come across that way. I know it did come across that way, and I apologize for that. I don't want you to kill yourself, but, like, you know, resume, right? That's what this has been about. I said something ambiguous that some people genuinely took the wrong way, and to them, I have been apologizing both publicly and privately, but this is an opportunistic vulture. Oates can't help but capitalize on that. So I'm sorry to everybody that I hurt by telling Rachel Oates to kill herself, but I'm definitely not sorry to Rachel Oates. Damn, what did I just fucking say, guys? She knows her transphobia branded on her, so the best she can do to achieve is to derail the actual discussions. She's pretending like her being held to her actions, and her active demonstrable support for violence against the trans community is a wrong that the trans community should be apologizing to her for. No, she just wants you to apologize. Okay, so I don't know how much more I need to go. I think that I have all the context that I need, you guys. So it looks like this goes back and forth for quite a while. I'm not like the most soft-edged person. I'm very acutely aware of that. Okay, I'm not the uwu small soft bean. I can be, but I'm not. I will be 100% honest with you guys. If I was in an argument with someone and they misinterpreted something that I said for me telling them to kill themselves, I would apologize, especially if I didn't mean it. Like if she truly meant this, so if I can put myself in these in Essence of Thought shoes, if I said this and I meant like do the world a favor and exit it, talking about the community, it would be really easy for me to just apologize and be like, I meant the community. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insinuate that I want you to kill yourself. My bad. It'd be really easy to do. You know what I mean? I don't think that that is like a difficult ask, especially if that's not what she meant. And then again, she's kind of justifying it where she's like, Rachel Oates is like this violent fucking transphobe. So, you know, I actually don't care if I said that she should kill herself. And it's just so pathetic, in my opinion, because there's nothing that I hate more. There's nothing in the world that I fucking hate more than a cry bully, and there's nothing that I fucking hate more in the world than a woke scold. Not a thing. Not a thing. And I don't mean like the woke scold is somebody who politically disagrees with me. I mean specifically somebody who is willing to go balls to the wall and attack other people, gloves off, claws out, willing to roll around in the mud, and when that gets flipped back on them, they cry. They're like, why are you picking on me? Idpol, I'm a victim, I'm mentally ill, I'm literally neurodivergent and a minor, like, please don't do this to me, oh my god. There is nothing that I think is more disgusting of a trait for a human being to possess. Like, if you want to be edgy and talk shit and roll around in the mud, fucking own it. Do it. Do it. Like, do it, honestly. Like, nobody's going to be mad at you. If that's the kind of content you want to make, if that's the way that you want to behave, like, go ahead, dude. Like, honest to God, do it. Like, it's fine. Like, it's fine. Go ahead and do it. It's not a big deal at all. But don't cry when somebody hits you back with the same energy. Because what happens when you roll around in the mud and you want to get dirty, you're also going to get dirty. People are going to sling shit at you. You can dish it out, but you can't take it. And that is just like the most despicable trait in human beings that I like. There's obviously like being a rapist, being a murderer, like all of these things, caveating here, you guys. Like, that is just such a disgusting, weaselly worm fucking trait to me. If you want to get down and dirty, get on all fours. Let's go. Let's wrestle. Let's tussle. Let's do it. Let's throw the mud around. I don't think anybody has an issue with that, but you can't cry. Oh, you're being transphobic. Oh, you're picking on a trans woman, misogyny, whatever the fuck. Like, you can't do that when you're the one that started poking first. Like, it doesn't work that way. Like, come on, get real. If I ran up to somebody and I slapped them in the face and they turned around and just knocked me on my ass, I couldn't be like, oh, violence against trans people. Like, if you wanna enter the ring, you have to be ready to fight. And if you aren't ready to fight, don't enter the fucking ring. Okay? It's just such a disgusting trait to me. I don't like it at all. Ugh. Okay, so we love Rachel Oates. Rachel Oates is based. Stay in your lane. Don't talk about shit you don't know anything about. Essence of Thought is a fucking cry bully who inserted herself into this drama and then got upset because she was involved in the drama and then suicide baited somebody and then said that she was the one that was being harassed. Okay, so cool. So, all right. We're just deranged. Got it. Heard. Check. Got it.